Hello and welcome back to Boolean Algebra. These are the questions I left for you to have a go at on your own. So hopefully you have done those and I can spend this time going through the answers. Okay, so the first question is part I, B and A or not A, and how do we simplify this? So if I get a lovely purple colour, so A and not A or not A. Now if we go back and have a little look at our rules, then we have A or not A. So let's have a look at our rules. Do we have anything here that's A or not A? Well, yes we do. We have X or not X equals 1, which means that A or not A equals 1. A or not A equals 1. So this all simplifies to B and 1. Now if we have another look at our rules, do we have B and 1? Well, we have X and 1 equals X. So that means we know that B and 1 equals B. So this entire Boolean algebra expression simplifies down to just B. Okay, that's nice and simple enough. Let's have a look at our next one then. So we have part II, A and B or B. What you can do here is pop them into brackets. So we can pop into brackets here, A and B or B. Now if you remember, there is a rule that involves an and an or and two of the same variable. We have a look at our rules here. We have the absorption rule, which if we remember from last time, we know that X and Y or Y, my screen has just blacked out, there we go, equals Y. So if X and Y or Y simplifies to Y, then A and B or B just simplifies to B using the absorption rule. Nice and simple for that one. So with our questions, this one also simplifies to B. And now we have our last one, which is A or not B and A or B. So what you'll want to do here is use and let me open up the rules again. Is it the commutative rule or the associative rule? Well, let's have a little quick recap of which one's which. It could also be the distributive rule, couldn't it? Which it is, because the distributive rule or distributive law works similar to multiplication. So don't forget that this is essentially like having bracket multiplied by a bracket. So if I grab my paintbrush, we can simplify this using the distributive law. I'm just going to call it distrib. So we can multiply the A with the A to get A and A. Then we can multiply the A with the B to get or A and B. Now I'm saying multiply, it's not really multiply, but if you pretend that's a multiplication symbol, it works. Or, now I'll want to do not B, fake multiplied by A, so not B and A. Last one, or not B, fake multiplied by B, so not B and B. Ooh, that's a little bit messy, so let me just do that one a bit better. Not B and B. It didn't work very well, but I'm sure you know what I'm saying. Okay, not B and B, if we have a look back at our rules, not B and B, which is the same as B and not B, because you can reverse the order because they're commutative, is 0. Which means over here that this bit that I messed up completely in terms of the actual writing is 0 anyway. So we don't have to include that at all. So now we just want to focus on these parts. We also know, using our rules, that x and x just simplifies down to x. So if we look back here, we have A and A, which just simplifies down to A. So that all becomes A and, or A and B, or not B and A. I'm going to cross that out as it links up there. Okay, now what we want to do is have a look at this small section here. Because again we have two of the same variable and changed signs, which is our absorption rule. I'm just going to call it absorb. A or A and B. The B gets absorbed to create A, or not B and A. Now exactly the same, because if you remember, these are commutative. It therefore means that you could swap these two variables around if you wanted to. So you'd have different signs and two A's, which is again our absorption rule. So that all simplifies down very nicely to just A. So if we have a look at our have a go questions, we have the answers B, B and A. I hope that seemed self-explanatory. And now I'm giving you a final have a go question which involves everything we've learnt so far, which is this one. Use the previous 3 examples to help you simplify. Not A and B, and not A or B, and not V or B. So if you think about it, your have a go questions here all help you with your have a go 2 question. So good luck, and I'll see you next time.